Welcome back to Scoreline. My name is Robinson Okenye. In the first part of the show, we listened in to what former Kenya international Taiwo Otieno had to say on his strategic plan to help improve Kenyan football. In this part of the show, I want us to get into some basketball action. And in the Zone 5 finals, it was between Equity Hawks and KPA, where KPA emerged the winner. Yesterday, Rotuno Kwenyike had a chance of speaking to Equity Hawks.
Today in KTN Sports, we are joined by the Equity Women's Basketball Team fraternity after they just concluded FIBA Africa Zone 5 Championships in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, whereby Equity emerged runners-up after their fellow Kenyan team, that is KPA. Of course, it was a heated affair in the finals, and even more interesting is the fact that it was two Kenyan teams pit against one another in that particular very, very tantalizing clash where KP ended up emerging victorious. Now we just get to speak to some of the team members and officials and get to hear about how their experience was. Right now I'm joined by Esther Butali, that is the captain of the women's team, and we just want her to take us through, you know, how was the atmosphere, how heated were the exchanges on the competitive ground. Esther, thank you so much for creating your time for us today.
Thank you so much for having us.
Now, I just want you to take us through the whole experience, considering you were there, first-hand information, first-hand experience. How was it?
The journey was not easy, considering we come from a high, the humidity here is high. In Tanzania, it was very hot, and the fact that it was hot, we had to give it our best. We played our best. We started off with the champions of Rwanda, which was Reg, and we were able to beat them with a margin of 20 points, which gave us confidence throughout the tournament. We played round robin, we played all the teams, and finally we were able to meet with KPA, who were also unbeaten through their all their matches, same as the Equity Hawks. Yes.
Since the tournament began all throughout the end, you managed to put up impressive performances. What can you attribute this exemplary effort to?
First of all, I want to thank the Equity Hawks, the Equity Bank fraternity for supporting us. And what really made us perform well is that we came together. We've been struggling during the regular season in Kenya. Most people have watched our matches, and I'm sure they thought we would come again back in. Remember, in 2019, we were position 4. Now, this time round, as they saw us playing the league, I knew people had written us off, but when we went to camp for 1 week, we were able to build our team chemistry. We bonded together, and we all had a fixed goal. Our coaches gave us a target that at least we reach the podium, which was position 3, improving from position 4. And we made it better by becoming runners-up, and we are so proud. The girls were so happy with our performance, yes.
What can you say about the sort of competition that you got from your fellow counterparts, KPA?
First of all, I congratulate them for bringing the cup home. 2019, Uganda took the cup. KPA is a very good team, very competitive. They have a very good coach, and they always play to win. And we love their challenge. When they get into the court, they never got tired. Actually, they were able to lock us out on our offensive part. The first half, we were 27, and they had 29. So coming in the second half, I believe the coaches had known and did their part well with the technical bench, and they locked us out on offense. So we were not able to score the second half, and that is where I think we take it as a challenge. They were able to stop us from scoring, yes, and they were able to take the cup home.
Individually speaking, what can you say about your players? You know, as a team captain, of course, this are a group of people that you manage. Were you impressed with what you saw on an individual perspective?
First of all, the Equity Hawks, they are beautiful ladies, very cooperative, very happy. If you stay with them, you'll always be laughing. They love sports. they always give out their best. When they get into court, it's not a matter of beauty or makeup or anything. It's all about the game. I love these ladies because they give me cooperation in all aspects, whether it is on court or in court or out of court. They are so cooperative, and they are very ready to listen. They are teachable. You can't imagine. You have people with masters there, people doing their own jobs, mothers. But when they come to court, they behave like the little young kid in the CBC, ready to learn, ready to be directed, ready to be given instructions, and they follow it to the letter. They're so beautiful, they're so good. I just love them. Yes.
Even after the runner-up position, I mean, what do we expect from, Equity moving forward, especially in such big competitions?
Now our target is to retain the title. Remember, we are the champions in 2019. 2020, we never played the league because of the pandemic. So our main target is to retain the title, which is very hard. It's easy becoming number one, but maintaining it's hard. But I believe with hard work, the cooperation that we had during the Zone 5, we are going to make it. So our main target is we have to bring the title. We have to retain the cup again. And we also have the African Club coming up. We were supposed to go to South Africa, but tentatively, the way things are, I think it's going to change. So going to the African Club, we need to put our best foot forward so that at least we become among the top four, competing with experienced players from the US coming to beef up their teams. I know it's going to be a challenge, but we are ready to take up the challenge. Yes.
You did mention that the regular season has not been as easy, and as it continues to advance, what do you think, rather what have you identified as the challenges, considering you did put up a very strong performance in the Zone 5?
Yes, as I've said earlier, this Zone 5 has made us to come together, work together, and we've bonded so well. So I believe now we're waiting for the playoffs. Come the playoffs, people are going to see a different Equity from the regular season, and I believe they'll think we've brought our twin sisters on court because we've worked hard. We've really worked hard, and our main goal and purpose is just to retain the cup here in Kenya.
Thank you so much, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
That right there, as I said, is Esther Butali, the team captain of Equity Hawks, a very impressed individual, talking about, the Zone 5. She's very happy with what her team brought to the court. But as you've heard from whatever she has told us, Equity still remains a team to watch out for, even in the KBF League. Right now, I am joined by Sylvia Kamau, who's a coach with Equity. I know she's a very happy lady right now, considering how the team performed. Is that so?
Yes, I'm quite proud of the girls. Being runners-up in the Zone 5 is quite something. And again, being runners-up gives us an opportunity to go to the final round, so which is still something for us and something very big. Yes.
What can you say was your highlight in the Zone 5 championships?
Our highlight probably has to be the first game. We came into the first game, we were a bit shaky. We played the champions from Rwanda, Reg, and they gave us a tough game. From that game, you could see that the players dug deep, and the players brought in some character and attitude from that game. And I think it set pace for the tournament and for the championship. Yeah.
Of course, Equity stands out as one of the teams to watch, same as KPA among others. What do you think gives your club an edge over the other teams?
Equity has a good blend of young and experienced players. So over the years, we've been able to at least maintain the senior players who have given guidance to the young and upcoming players. So there's a good mix of experience and youth in the team, and I think that's what stands out in the team. We've struggled in the regular season, and I think we've stayed together because of the teamwork that is there. The team has been, I think the current crop of players have been together at a minimum of 3 years, which is good, and I would say that is what brings out the teamwork. So we go through a hard patch, but we are able to come back and, regroup and play well as we're supposed to.
Skill-wise, what are the areas of improvement that you look forward to, sharpening in order to even assist the team as they head into the playoffs?
For, like I said earlier, we've struggled in the regular season. One of our key points where we've struggled on is scoring and consistent scoring. So you will find that some of our games we win them by big margins, some of the games we lose them. I mean, we win by smaller margins. Games we're supposed to put away, we don't quite put them away, and we struggle in terms of scoring. So we are working on our offense, and greatly so in terms of giving screens. At the Zone 5 games last week, we realized there's a need for us to work on our screening and especially on our scorers. So we need to free up our scorers. So that's what we start training next week again for readiness for the playoffs. And I think that's where we will put our highlights on. Defensively, we need to control the boards a bit more. We are big, we have good size, but I don't think we are dominant. We need to be dominant, and we need to rebound fully 100%. So those are the two areas that stand out and we need to work on.
Generally speaking, and even as we wind up, what can you say about the KBF League, how it has been this season?
The season has been haphazard, and generally we can't blame KBF much. We had 2 lockdowns, earlier in the year, and again sometime we started the league, then we came back, and then also, again, there was another lockdown. The idea that we were not allowed to train as a team. So the league has not been stable. And this has also been part of, one of the problems we've been having as a team, because in the lockdowns, we are not able to see each other. So and it's a team sport. So we were not able to train together. And that, when we come back, players are out of touch, the teamwork is gone. So I think that is what has been the biggest challenge for KBF this year. And of course the consistency of the league in terms of play, how it's played. We're starting December, we still haven't done the playoffs, and there's still more international cards in games to matches and events to be played. So I think in terms of time, I think the time could have been managed better, but we can't fault them for that. Yes.
Thank you so much. And of course, we will look forward to whatever Equity has to offer in the next coming weeks.
Yes, we're going into the playoffs as we wait for the final round. We look forward. We are looking to retain our title. And yes, we are going to retain our title. The team is doing well. We had a camp before we went to Tanzania, and it has brought back the teamwork. It has brought back the endurance that we were lacking in. The players are fitter. The players understand their roles much better, because in the last, we can say 15 days, it's been nothing but basketball, and it's brought back the basketball acumen back into the team. Yeah.
Thank you.
Asante sana.
You've had it all, not from me, but from Madam Sylvia here. There is, again, and this is something that has been repeated, watch out for Equity. They are really targeting to retain their title, and that is what they're going for at this time round. And they're saying that they're an even a stronger force. But again, let us hear from David Maina, again, coach with the club, and what he has to say about, coach. And Madam Sylvia has mentioned a very important point, right now, considering the time that you've had, even with the regular season and the competitions, it's a very small amount of time. And I can imagine what toll it has on the players. Do you think they're still strong enough to withstand whatever is going to come in the near future?
Actually, for me, what I'll say is that we are ready for the playoffs, even if we are told to play today, because those 2 weeks of training, they have really helped Equity to get back to their game plan, because from the beginning of this season we have been struggling, but the last 2 weeks from the time we went to the camp, we have been working on areas that we are not doing well, and so far I can say we are ready for the playoffs.
Competitively speaking, how has the competition been in the regular season?
We have not been doing well, let me be honest, because I've been with Equity since we started the team. This year we have struggled, and I'll say one is because of transition. I was the coach for all these years, but we brought in Sylvia and Jerry, and she's doing a good job. But you see now from the players changing to her game plans, I mean, it has taken a bit of time. But I want to believe that we are in the right direction. The good thing is that I have been part of the team because I'm the head coach of the team. And I want to believe that after this Zone 5 championship, the team is getting back to where we have been.
Coach, even speaking from what you have seen from other clubs, you look at things from an observational point of view. Are there any specific clubs that have managed to impress you in this regular season?
Yes, I have seen some clubs that have impressed me. We have like UN Dynamites. They have come up very well. It's only unfortunately that this is an institution whereby players come and go. After 4 years, they're done with their courses, they have to leave. There is Zetec, which also has come up very well, and I believe we'll be playing Zetec in the playoffs. Game 1, we won with half a basket. Game 2, it was again a margin of 5 points. So these are two teams that I've been really impressed with, and I believe that if the same players will be there next year, they're going to give us a run for our money.
And Coach, you have mentioned a very important point that has to do with, you know, players coming in and again the talent pipeline. What systems are in place to ensure that there's a lengthened period in terms of talent in basketball for an even longer period of time without having one bunch of players come in and then again they have to leave?
Like Equity Bank, what we normally do is that we go to these institutions, we pick good players, but they must be having the good papers because at the end of the day, we are trying to see how we can absorb them in the job market. And once you have gotten like 3 or 4 players and you have given them jobs, it means they're going to be with you for more than 10 years. Like the ones that we have right now, some of them have started the team 8 years ago. They're still, they have the strength and the will to play for another 2-3 years. So I think if teams can be able to get their players into the job market, that one will sustain them to play for them longer.
And even as we wind up, you know, we have Equity as a team who managed to impress, but who are your star attractions in the Zone 5 championships in Equity?
Let me not point at an individual player because I believe in teamwork. Basically, all my players have really improved. And I want to believe that what I will demand from them is that to maintain that performance. It has not been an easy year, but since we came from Tanzania, I have been encouraging the players to maintain that performance because we are the defending champions. We won the championship, the Premier League championship in 2018-2019. We want to see if we can be able to retain it for the 3rd year in a row.
Even away from the playoffs, what do we look forward to in the club championships?
It's unfortunate we don't have an exact date for the club championship because we'll have wanted so much to know the dates so that we can start preparing. And from the look of things, we might start with the playoffs, which will give us enough time to see if we have gotten back to where we wanted, so that we can be able to retain the championship. Then from there, we'll request the Equity Bank management to give us like 2 or 3 weeks of camp, because that is what really brought the Equity game plan that we have right now. Yes.
Thank you so much, Coach, and all the best moving forward.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We have spoken to all this, you know, we have the players, we have the officials, and you've been able to hear from them. One thing that stands out, and it stands out very firm, is that preparation is key. A lot to look forward to. Of course, even for the players, there's a lot that still is expected of them. So what shall it be next? We wait and see.
Thanks a lot, Rotuno Kwenyike. Equity Hawks, of course, seeking to soar high.